It has been a minute. My goodness, what a transformation. Welcome, guys. I know it's been a hot minute. This is the 1970s house remodel. If you don't believe it, it's done. Is the outside done? No, it's not completely done, but we're getting there. You should see my neighbor's yard. It's spot on. Grass is dried. We definitely had 2 trees over here. We cut them down, eliminated all of the leaves. I hate picking up the leaves, so we just slapped a nice cute coat. Thanks for joining in. I want to do a final walkthrough to show you the complete transformation. A lot has changed, a lot of good things coming up in the horizon. I feel great for taking a year off. Without further ado, let's do a little walkthrough and a little discussion of what happened, what I would do differently, what I enjoyed doing, and then the budget, because we all have to know the number. Come on, let's go. First, let me introduce to you the newest member of the family. That's why I've been busy. Yep, and absent. Hi guys, we just been hanging out, having fun. So now let's get on with the video. Hi, cheers. Welcome to this part of the video where, I'm gonna put that there because I already spilled it. I'm kind of doing a little something here where I normally don't do. Sitting down on a couch. It's Christmas. I know. It's been a minute, and the reason is I took a break because of this house remodel. What can I say? I am super grateful for the experience. I learned a lot. I wanted to take on this project to be able to get skills, basically. And I'm happy about that because it really opened a new avenue for the future. I'm excited about that. So that's another story for another time, but it'll come. What did I want to do with this portion of the video? I wanted to sit down and actually just talk about what it takes to remodel a house. One, it takes a lot of effort, a lot of sweat equity, and a lot of beer. No, so I figured people would have questions on how much did that cost? What did that take? Would you do it again? Would you regret? All in all, I have a pretty good experience. Was it easy? No. Was it time consuming and exhausting? Yes. I don't know how I did it, so don't ask me. But I finished this house remodel in 8 months. That's, looking back, probably a professional could do it faster, but I'm not a professional. I spent a lot of hours. What exhausted me the most was because I was doing my day job, coming here, staying up till 3, going home, taking 3-4 hours of sleep. So fast forward, the reason why there was so much pressure in having to finish this house is month 2 or 3 of the remodel. We got some great news. Oh, that's happening. And 9 months later, Claire. So I'm a dad. Don't own the shoes yet, but the dad jokes are coming. So might throw those in. So prices, costs, things. Now you know the backstory of the actual what it takes. But all in all, I had a good experience. I would say I had a positive experience. Key, don't get discouraged. Things will come up. Things are not going to get done as fast as you want them to be. And just be patient. Let each step just take its course. Have a positive attitude. So I kind of threw a budget. I figured it would be helpful for someone that is starting this process, looking back of how they did the process. So our initial budget really was much lower before we purchased the house, was much lower than when we purchased the house, and was like, okay, there's a lot of things that aren't going to actually cost that much. So I did a very rough kind of cost. Hey, this is what's paint going to be. This is what flooring is going to be. And so we had to raise the budget. But, okay, so initial budget was $40,000. And we met it. So I'm really pleased with that. I think that was a fairly reasonable price because I did everything, and two, for the amount of work that we did. We didn't take it all down to the bones, but for the majority, bathrooms were all gutted out. The kitchen was all gutted out. That room, no, just those. All new trim needed to be replaced. Flooring needed to be replaced. So we're doing big item things that are gonna cost a lot, but we were able to just, find those deals and kept the budget in mind as we were going. We kind of, this is what we want, this is what that costs, what's an alternative. That's our personality, and I'm happy. So I wanted to kind of do a little bit more in depth while we were kind of building this budget, or while we had this budget. I wanted to kind of keep track so I can be able to share to you. And it's not crazy, but I kind of put together some kind of group costs. Basically, what did the kitchen cost? What did the electrical cost? What did all of the bathrooms cost and all of that jazz? So interior kind of trim work and touch up of the drywall and all of that stuff actually ended up being roughly around like $4,588. IKEA kitchen. So after doing a bunch of research, we kind of went with the route of IKEA. One, it's very modular, very easy to install. You can do it yourself. And it was a significant price difference between going to big box stores and picking out their kind of cabinets and you just install them. Significant cost difference. So IKEA was the way to go. We really like this kind of new modern look that IKEA kind of they're more design oriented. They do a really good job at putting that out there for people to purchase. As a builder slash woodworker, the quality is not there. It's crap, but the price is a big deal. Thing to kind of consider. The trend, style kind of fades out within 5 years. And so not that I'm going to rip everything out and install new cabinets, but you don't feel as bad versus a custom cabinets are running you 10, 15, 20,000. Just the cabinetry part, if you're curious, costed me $3,257. So that's very cheap. Granted, it's not crazy, like it's not a big kitchen, but you're not going to get that anywhere else. The total kitchen remodel ended up costing us just under $10,000. That's $9,181. That is with everything. Countertops was a big cost, and the cabinets were the big cost. Everything else was just the tile, the floating shelves that I made. So all in all, that's a very good price point. That's a realistic kind of a DIY route. Kitchens typically do not cost that much. And luckily ours wasn't so big. One thing that I am 100% so thankful that what we decided was install that island, a nice big island. We made it big for two reasons. One, we like hosting because the kitchen is really small. You need a place to kind of have a workstation, and we needed storage, and we were able to install all of our major storage components, essentially the things that you would have above the upper cabinets. we installed those in smaller cabinets and just put the countertop on top of the cabinets. So going on from the kitchen, we go into the bathrooms. The one thing that I really needed was double vanities. One had already a double vanity, but the master really needed a double vanity. And I knew that I could build the floating carcass of the vanity. And so we got super lucky, and IKEA, again, has the actual sink portion with the plumbing. So bought that and installed the vanity, or the carcass, whatever you want to call it, the vanity. And boom, you know, with tile and new shower, new bathtub, both bathrooms. Ended up being $3,719. That's insane. Yeah. One thing that I didn't finish though is the master doesn't have glass doors. That's kind of what we initially planned for the design. Honestly, haven't gone around to it because the shower curtain works just as good. So happy with that. That's one thing that I will eventually try to finish. The laundry obviously isn't finished. I did, flooring. Flooring was a big deal. That actually was one of the highest cost, like initial material costs. With all of the other small things, it ended up just costing us $4,412. So happy with how things kind of came together. We did miscellaneous things as far as the electrical. I updated all new outlets with modern. I updated the code for, you know, the bathrooms needs GFI, the kitchen needs a GFI, and new switches, oh gosh, the biggest thing that I could not stand, how this guy would live. There was literally two lights, one light in the kitchen, or two lights, one above the sink. But so there was a total in this space, so I would say 700, 800 square feet of space. It had six lights. No. So updated and upgraded, and boom, I added lights. I added 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20 lights. Let's just say I'm a lit guy. Dad joke. I need lighting. I cannot stand not seeing things. So updated that. Compromised with my wife because she hates bright things. Added dimmers. So I didn't really like those at first, but they come in handy. They set the mood. When you just want to chill, wind down for the night, dim them, have Christmas lights in the background, and enjoy the time. So that's, how much did that cost me? So all of the electrical ended up, yes, I did hire the guy, so that was more cost than I initially budgeted for, but looking back, I'm happy I did, and I wish I would have hired more, but then the budget would have gone higher. So with electrical, just because of the amount of work it needed, and it just was the right decision. We actually ended up needing to redo all of the plumbing. The plumbing from the main line was updated. All of the actual water lines were galvanized and heavily corroded. That was not seen by me when we bought the house. Would have helped, but I got so scared because I was like, shoot, plumbing, oh no. Everything needed to be replaced. The pipes were so corroded. The rust would be the smallest thing. Some were so corroded that water was kind of like spilling out because of the rust. The bathrooms would have, I could squeeze the pipes. It just fell apart. So it wasn't seen, but it was a must. It needed to go. I got so scared. I was like, what is this? Oh my gosh, what is this going to cost me? Because of PEX plumbing, which, awesome. It only ended up costing, hold on, let me find this. Plumbing for materials costed me $1,200. $1,200. Painting alone was more expensive because, well, that was my fault. Painting, I thought I knew how to do it. I was going to spray everything, and I was going through paint like there was no tomorrow. Spray, spraying. If you don't know what you're doing, you're going to be using a lot of paint, more paint than you actually think. So painting ended up kicking my butt big time. I was like, hey, I'm going to borrow a sprayer, spray everything down. It's going to be fast. It was fast, but I was eating through buckets of paint like there was no tomorrow. I ended up spending way more than I budgeted for, way more than I wanted to. Towards the end of the whole remodel, I learned quality of paint is very important. Knowing how to operate a gun is very important. It's not just pulling the trigger. The ceiling had this weird texture where I don't even know, it was just hideous. So I sanded everything down. I re-mudded all of the ceiling to give it a flat ceiling. The bathrooms, no, the bathrooms were updated, which was surprisingly. The bedrooms all had popcorn. I had to scrape them all down, do the whole process of remudding and painting. So painting the whole house needed to be done. I primed everything down with the Kills primer. That was a big deal. It had a little stench, mainly from the carpet, but once you remove that, it still kind of was lingering there. I did do more steps to prep for the new house, but all in all, I think it went smooth. I learned a lot. And miscellaneous tools. Always need more tools. Home Depot runs. I cannot say this enough. Prep. Make a list of things that you need for that day and follow that list. Go to the store and say, I need this, I need this, I need this. I forgot a lot of things. Mainly things would break and I need to get something done. Home Depot run. I love it. Love-hate relationship there, but after everything is said and done, the biggest reward feeling is sitting and just getting to enjoy the house. I love it. So don't regret it. Overworked myself, but the skills that I learned and the opportunity that I had, I wouldn't have done it any other way. I think that's more valuable than anything, and I had the willingness. So it's all about tackling a project, having that patience, taking it easy. Anyone can remodel their house. Honestly, it's not that hard. The amount of information that is out there on YouTube that I've just absorbed was so helpful. Having a place to be able to find out what is the right way to do it, what's the wrong way to do it, tips and tricks. And that's kind of why I wanted to just sit down and kind of, hey, this is my journey. I didn't want to teach anyone because I was learning. So I was no professional, and that's why I didn't want to teach anything. I just wanted to put the camera and have at it, take you guys along the journey and how it's real, you know? So I'm pleased to say that we're wrapping up this series. We're starting a new one in the new year. I do apologize for taking forever, but I think I have a great excuse. If you have any questions, if you are like asking for another type of video, give me ideas. This is basically what I wanted to just put out there of what cost for my house, what it took to remodel my house, and kind of how everything turned out. There is some things that need to be done, but those are fine. The yard door, that's the biggest thing. I think that's all. So without further ado, cheers. Until next time, BB&I.